Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugger and I am coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2, and we are looking over the high-end trucks. And in this video, if I can untangle my controller, we will be looking at the Renault Magnum Excellence as opposed to the Renault Premium Excellence. Now there is a slight difference. Of course, you can upgrade the Renault Premium, I believe, to the 460 horsepower engine, which is the strongest engine that Renault offers in a vanilla game. And you would have pretty close to the same truck, but again, the chassis is different on the Renault Magnum, and the cab is significantly different on the Renault Magnum, so that warrants giving it another look. Now, the Renault Magnum actually feels like a much narrower truck, just the way it's set up. It's definitely taller. I believe, in all due honesty, it's probably the tallest of all the trucks, just the way the cab is set up. You can actually see that they put like a really defined split between the cab where you ride and where the engine and everything else is. So it almost looks like you're sitting a box on top of a rolling half chassis. But despite its extremely unique looks and its very unique paint job, in terms of what I'm going to be pitting it against, I don't hold a lot of hope, if I'm to be honest with you. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't hold a lot of hope for the Magnum. But let's go take a look at the truck at the Renault dealership. And that's this one right here. Okay. So basically this is like the same thing, these two. It's just that this has the really cool paint job and this doesn't. Plus this has an OptiDrive, this has an OptiDrive R. I don't know which is better, OptiDrive R or OptiDrive, but we're going to stick with the transmission has because I don't know that. So not a lot different between the Premium and the Excellence. Slightly more Newton meters, and you can carry a little bit more fuel in the Magnum. But it's the Magnum Series 4x2 Excellence, left-handed driver, 480 horsepower, 353 kilowatts, 2400 Newton meters at 1030 RPM to 1400 RPM with an OptiDrive transmission with an 800 and 400 liter tank at 175,510 euros. Now, again, the Magnum is unique in the fact that you can't get it till level 10, so I wasn't actually able to really, truly, fairly compare it to beginner trucks. But I can do it in terms of high-end trucks, because obviously it goes from a mid-range truck to a high-end truck. Now, its biggest deterrence in terms of wanting it as a high-end truck is the fact that you can't upgrade this chassis. I have a modded chassis in the game, as I think I mentioned before, but number one, I don't know if that mod still works. Number two, in the true vanilla game, this is all you get. So you don't have the extra braking power or the extra stability of a multi-wheel chassis. The Renault does seem to make up for some of that by somehow being a very stable truck to begin with. But when putting on heavier loads, it's still going to suffer. And with only a 460 or 460 horsepower engine, with 2400 Newton meters at the 1030 to 1400, it actually doesn't have a lot of towing power. Now, in a vanilla game, this would be fine. 25 tons, and there's not too many hills, not a big issue. In a map like I'm driving, issues. So, let's see what we get for freight. 36 tons right off the bat, but it doesn't go far enough over here. Let's see if we can find something in the 30 some odd ton range. Alright, so we're not going to have any luck on this round, so we know how to handle this. We go to our truck manager, we pick one of our random trucks, make sure we have enough hours that the loads will swap. I only got one more truck to buy before I have at least one of each truck, high and low end, in the game, and that's the Scania. So we go back to our freight market and we look at Roma. Here's 34 tons, but that's not going to go anywhere. Another 36-ton load. Alright, I believe we've been there before. No, actually we haven't. This is where we're going, Lima. It's going to follow a similar route, obviously, but we haven't been there before. Let's just take a look at the next page. Just to see, I mean, there's 40 tons. That's significantly heavier, though. 4 to 5 tons heavier than everything else I've pitted trucks against. And I don't think that's fair. I mean, it's the heaviest I'll go, but I don't really know if I want to pit the Magnum versus that. So we're going to take this 36-ton load here. Honestly feel like that's our... Hopefully I remember how to drive. And, you know... Parking brake, please. So we're not rolling. Again, we have the really nice interior with the brown on tan. It's really pretty inside. I always like the interior of the Renault. They look really nice. But you can see just how tall, how far up that headroom is, man. That's pretty far up there. The window, again, I don't like the side window because the bar that comes across there. And you still get a good side view, though, when looking out the side, making turns and stuff. It's not bad. The mirrors are really nice. They're a little squished, but they're nice and tall on the bottom mirror and a good view on the fisheye. But again, what I don't like on the Renault is the dashboard. The dashboard is a pain in the neck to read. It's very small. The red illumination helps nothing in my eyes. And, you know, I just don't know where else to go with it. And, of course, finally... I don't like the mirror. I don't like the front place mirror where it is. I find it a distraction. I like my mirrors off to the side more where they're not going to distract me. You know, pretty simple. It'd be easier if somebody like sent me something about how to make a head tracking rig, and I honestly wouldn't mind doing it, but money wise, as cheap as it was that he showed me, I don't know if I could afford it. I truly don't know if I could afford such a thing. I'll say this much, the truck definitely wants to jump while running bobtail. There's no doubt about that. While running bobtail, she definitely wants to get out there and go, and she brakes really well as well. You do get a sense, I don't know, but to me, maybe it's an illusion of... Maybe it's an illusion of knowing that how tall the chassis is, but I actually feel like I'm sitting higher in the truck. I actually feel like that I'm higher up than your average truck. I honestly think it's just an illusion of it's just the illusion of knowing that the chassis is taller. I'm pretty sure you have the same perspective in terms of how high up you are. I keep losing my train of thought, and it's actually annoying. So let me give myself a mental shake here, and let's get this straight. I really feel like it's set for the same perspective every time you get into a truck, regardless of what truck it is. So it doesn't matter if you're in the premium, or if you're in the Magnum, or if you're in a Scania, or whatever. You're gonna be at the same actual height when you drive inside, even if the Magnum is actually taller. You know, it's not going to matter. But because I feel like the Magnum chassis is taller, I'm mentally projecting that I'm actually sitting higher up. Hello. When I'm running bobtail, I tend to be a little more loose cannon-y than like normal. Driver Kenneth couldn't find a job and returns empty. Fuel and maintenance costs are $788. Driver Kenneth does that again. He's going to find himself fired. I make that perfectly clear, Kenneth. Return empty one more time, you're fired. That's the first time I've had that happen. You know, where I've had a driver come back and not have a load. Okay. Take our job. Yeah, you shouldn't be starting in 8th gear there, Booker. Come on now. It's actually a shorter trailer than, like, you see that big Blackhawk right there. Alright, let's hook her up and get rolling, shall we? It's kind of what I thought. Of course, we're going to get heavy leaning, much like we did the premium. So we got to be really cautious on... we got to be really cautious on our turns. Even gentle highway turns at the wrong speed could really screw us. I probably should have my lights on. Huh? There we go. I like the sound though. The Renault's got a nice sound to it. I'll give it that much. So not a lot to talk about really. I just finished my Binding of Isaac run, which you'll probably see go up just before this, and well, it didn't go so well. I played as Magdalene, and needless to say, the game was pretty cruel to me, and just didn't give me any breaks whatsoever. And I got dejected by the time I hit Necropolis 1, and yeah, it just all went downhill slowly and then kind of cascaded into an avalanche. But you know what I need to do is I need to come up with custom intros. I don't know how to make them personally. I really don't. I need a custom intro. I don't know how to come up with that. I had somebody offer to make me one a while ago, but I really didn't think about it in terms of needing one. So 47, 8th gear, 36 tons, maybe. Well, it did make the on-ramp. But I think I'd like to start getting a custom intro and definitely a custom thumbnail for at least Binding of Isaac. for like my Euro trucks, custom thumbnails, I've been kind of doing. I go out, just find a nice picture of the truck, and I post that. Yeah, we don't want to tip, so we're gonna take it slow. Because we're going through our usual beginning myriad of, you know, on-ramp, off-ramp, on-ramp, off-ramp. Damn, I forgot to adjust my rain again. It's bothering me that I keep forgetting that. I swear my rain bar is off. I slowed down a little too much there. But we'll make do. Even though I got down to 21, it's holding in 7th. Job. Not too shabby. Of course, we got another off ramp. I swear, this game. Aren't I going in circles at about this point? Got a bit of an incline here, so we'll see how this runs. Losing a bit of speed, but we're still good enough. Yeah, we're still good enough. Like to do. You see that tip when I turn? That's the trailer weight causing that. That tip over when I turned. That's trailer weight causing that. I had some volume on my headphones up a little too high. I think the volume for the game itself is pretty good. I think the volume's okay. But if you disagree, let me know. If you think it's too loud and you can't make a good enough adjustment, if it's overpowering my voice is too overpowering, let me know. Please, let me know. And I'll be happy to make more adjustments. Now, yeah, definitely rough under the acceleration. It's kind of tough, you know, to compare it to other trucks. They're such, you know, much more powerful engines. I don't know how they became racing champs. If they did, they should look into putting something a little bit stronger, you know, a little bit closer to their racing engine than, in terms of power, anyways, than whatever they have here, the 460. Because a 440, 460 is about mid-tier. It's a mid-tier engine on trucks like the Scania the Volvo and whatnot. It's mid-tier. So we got to be careful here. So we'll bring it back down to 11th. Because of course, I don't want to tip on this corner. I say it seems brighter than normal, well actually it's not quite fully night yet. Actually I look at it as really rough. We haven't even gotten over 90. Very much over 90 I should say. I mean we're over 90 now. Not very much over 90. Now, I'm pretty sure we have our slowdown area up and coming here. I'm not exactly sure where, so I don't want to be too close to any particular vehicle. That would be pretty detrimental. Just in case we do get that that sudden slowdown, you know, we don't want anything. We don't want to be too close because I don't know how well this is going to brake from the upper speeds. I really don't. But we are up over 100 kilometers, and I got to be. I honestly want to be really careful here. Because you know, I really can feel that unstableness even as I'm making slight corners. So, and I got to slow down some anyways because we have a pretty steep on-ramp coming up here. Well, it's a typical curly Q on-ramp. Try and keep a little momentum going up. Down to 25. Still holding in gear though. Still holding in gear. And we're around just fine. Was able to hold it in 8th despite getting down in speed a little bit. So I'm happy about that. I didn't get that notification that went by. I'm guessing he just finished and he leveled up, so all good. I must say, despite my trepidation about being like really unstable, of course, hauling the heavy load and all that, the truck is naturally unstable, but it does feel more stable than the premium. So I have to give it props to that. I have to give it props to feeling like a much more stable truck than the premium did. Again, I got to be careful. My speed's pretty built up right now. I just locked in the cruise control so I wouldn't go over 100. I don't want to go over 100 kilometers when hauling this load in this particular truck. We should be all right on this highway corner. This should not be an issue for us. It's very, very gentle, so it should be very easy. There's our obligatory slowdown right there. Fortunately, we have a nice open highway in front of us. We're just keeping an eye on those vehicles up ahead. You know, I was honestly hoping we'd get past the slowdown area before I reach them. Still get enough momentum to go by these trucks here, which is interesting enough. Yeah, I definitely need to move over, of course. Be really careful on this off ramp. That's a pretty steep climb with a pretty sharp corner. I think I actually started a little slow in shifting, but not bad. Fourth gear. Driver Kenneth, alright, he found a load. Good boy. That helps a little bit. Nothing coming, nothing coming. And of course we'll have our speed bumps as well. Not even going to bother shifting gears, except down. Yeah, toll. I think we'll have speed bumps. Oh no, that's not till after the ferry. After the ferry, we run into our speed bumps. You know what? It's just going to be easier. No, alright, I have to go this way. I don't have to make it a wider sweep here, but I'm going to. Yeah, I took it a little bit low there, but it's alright. She did okay. We're going to go straight and come around and make our left-hand corner into our ferry area. Now, the one good thing about having the mirror where it is, it's up out of the way, is that you get to see the lights a little bit easier. It doesn't like block any part of your windshield very much, which is really good. And of course, being as tall as it is, the Magnum has a very beautiful view out the windshield. So I can't argue that at any point. I'm like taking it extra cautious, man. That's just how I feel. It's like I want to be extra cautious. You know, I want to be. Too many times I've rolled a truck in recent videos. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this right. I want to not get a roll for once. Sidewalk. I honestly think that I shouldn't turn that hard. I think I'm making things more difficult than I should. But it worked. It worked. You know, the hell with your sound. No, sign's still there. The trailer's gonna clip through it, which is fine. And we made it through without an issue. That's nice. Alright, map, because our destination is, alright, just making doubly sure. I know it's probably always going to be the same place, but I just like to make sure. Alright folks, so that's going to be me done for this one. When we continue on the next episode, of course we're continuing our journey in our Renault Magnum Excellence, hauling 36 tons. I'll see you next time.